Hey guys, Milesy here, and today we're going to talk about fabric. Now, one thing I see a lot on message boards and forums and other things is people trying to figure out how much fabric they're going to need for a particular pattern. Maybe they've gone on Etsy and they've bought something, or they got a kit that didn't come with the fabric, or something like that. Or sometimes you buy a kit and it just comes with terrible fabric that's too small, so you want to use something nicer. And what you need to actually know are two things. You need to know the dimensions of the pattern itself, and you need to know what fabric count you'll be using. Now, we can get the stitch dimensions by just going up here on this thing that I've made. I didn't want to go on Etsy and use someone else's artwork, so this is just something here. And we can see that it's 336 stitches wide and 222 tall. Now, there's an easy way to figure out what size fabric you'll need, and that is with Paintnet. If you're on Mac, I didn't realize last time that Paintnet doesn't work on Mac, but you can get Pinta, which I will also link down below, which does the exact same thing. And you go up to File, and you go up to New. And what we're going to do is input those dimensions. It was 336. Come on. 336 by 222. And if we put this in, we want to do it at 14 pixels per inch. We can see that we will need 24 inches wide and about 16 inches tall. And if we put this at 18 inches, that will change. That will change for if we do 22 and 28. Now, if you're stitching on 28 count and you're only stitching over one, these are the dimensions that you'll want, 12 inches by 8, or thereabouts. If you're stitching over 2, you'll actually want to have this and go for 14, because stitching over 2 on 28 count is effectively stitching on 14 count. So in that case, you'll want 24 by 15. Now, you can also figure this out manually just with a calculator, and we can figure that out by taking the width of the pixels. So we have 336, and we divide this by the fabric count, so on 14, and that gives us 24 inches. And it's the same here, 222 divided by 14 is 15 point blah 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 blah, whatever, we'll round that up to 16. So that's how big your dimensions will actually be for the fabric, but what about the fabric itself? Because if you get a piece that's 12 by 16, you'll actually not have any margins left. So what you want to do is take that 24 and you want to add at least 6, because what you'll do when you add 6 is you'll add 3 inches to the top and to the bottom. So we'll add 6. So we want a piece that is 30 by 22 inches. And that's the size, the minimum size that you'll want to be able to do your fabric on. And the formula that you need to figure out your width in inches is really simple. You just take the stitches, divide that by your fabric count, and you'll get the length in inches. Now, on the other side of that, if you're trying to create a pattern and you know how big you want it to be when it's finished, but you don't know how big the pattern itself should be, that formula is really simple as well. You take your fabric count and you multiply that by the size in inches, and you'll get the stitch count. So if we know our fabric count, we want it to be 24 inches wide, and we want to do that on 14 count, we get that it's 336 stitches across. So there we go, just a simple little tutorial to show you how to measure out your fabric so you know how big it will be. All you need to do are remember those formulas, or just use software like Paintnet, Pinta, and there's even a Java form out there that if I can find it, I will link to it down in the description below. But I hope you guys found this helpful. Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, all that fun stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye! Thank you for watching. If you would like to support future videos and get some neat stuff in return, please head over to my Patreon page. Your support means a lot to me and goes a long way. If you're not in a position to donate, consider sharing this video with your friends to help this channel grow. Otherwise, please enjoy this goat.